Joining us now, Adam Carolla. Of course, you know him from Loveline and from his pod show. I know you know him from the pod show because the statistics are through the roof. Adam, and also, of course, from your weekly stint on Bill O'Reilly. Adam Carolla, are you getting a lot of feedback from being on Bill O'Reilly? Is that surprising to you?
Well, it is because, I live in L.A., so that's not,
right.
I live in Hollywood.
Do they have to tell you surreptitiously, like they whisper it to you, hey, I saw you on Fox News?
It's exactly what they do. They walk up next to you, and they do the move like, it's like when the Russian spy's handing the information with the folded up racing form to the other guy.
Right.
They don't face you. They stand next to you, and then they talk out of the corner of their mouth, and they go, I really like what you're doing on O'Reilly. And then they look around, and then they walk away.
Well, listen, Adam, one thing, you do practice what you preach and preach what you practice. I hear you all the time talking about the entrepreneurial spirit of America and, what has happened to that. I hear it all the time on your podcast, and here you are. You're actually living that specifically, not just with your podcast where you just sort of went to market and decided to hell with it. I'm going to do it and I'm just going to see what happens. And you've made an amazing success with that. But now you're doing it in the film business. Tell me about this new thing. You've got a film called Road Hard. And instead of going through the studio process and getting backing through the studio, which I'm sure as a writer can be a humiliating experience, instead you're going straight to the people and you're raising funds through this thing. What is it called? FundAnything.com?
That's right, and I made a film. I've made a film the old way. Well, I've been all the way through the mill on this one. I mean, I have tried to do the studio version of making a film, and to no avail. I made a film called The Hammer about 7 years ago, which I tried to make for about 5 years, and I finally just had to start rattling the can and raise private money. And it was just long, arduous, humiliating, and painful. And this crowdfunding thing didn't exist back then. And then I just figured out with the next one, I have an audience, and they're good people, and they like my films, and they want to participate. So the next film I did this way. We've raised $375,000 or more in just a short period of time, trying to get to $1 million to make this movie. And it's not really a donation. You put in for $25, you get a T-shirt and a Blu-ray before the movie comes out. You know. But if you want to go to the wrap party, it's $100. And if you want to be in the movie, it's $2,500 or whatever it is.
Wait, hold on a minute. For $2,500, I can be in your movie, Adam Carolla?
Well, we may not have a love scene, which normally I pay for. I mean, on the road and whatnot.
I understand.
But
I sort of understand.
But no, honestly, if you want to be an extra in the movie, that's a certain amount. If you want a credit in the movie, I mean, literally everything is for sale. Yeah.
Well, that's great. And listen, again, that's the entrepreneurial spirit. You're making it happen. Your goal is $1 million. You've already, what did you say, $380,000 already?
Oh, geez, yeah, by now, probably over 400.
All right, so if people are interested in that, they go to fundanything.com, and they can learn what the movie is about. It's called Road Hard. Let's go back for a minute. You said you've gone through the process. Of course, you said you made your film The Hammer, but talk to me about the humiliating process of you obviously have a proven track record. You have already succeeded at various realms in radio and television, and of course doing stand-up. You can fill theaters from people. Obviously, you're funny, but are you faced with the humiliation of having to sit across some, dweeb in a suit who thinks he knows what funny is, trying to tell you what's funny and what isn't funny?
It's even worse than that, because the dweeb in the suit is one thing. When I was trying to make my movie The Hammer, and by the way, The Hammer was, got 2 thumbs up at the movies, is sitting at 80% with the top critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and got Sports Illustrated Best Sports Comedy of the year. So it got some really high praise.
It's a boxing movie. It's about an amateur boxer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, like I said, universally enjoyed. I won't say loved because I have low self-esteem. But at a certain point, there's a friend of mine, a woman who used to refer to me and Jimmy as her sons, who used to run Comedy Central. and she went off of Comedy Central, and she went to a place called Fox Atomic, and her name's Debbie. And I said, oh, perfect. She's working for Fox Atomic. They're like Fox Searchlight. They're making little, lower budget films. She looks at me as one of her kids. I just had 4 years with her at Comedy Central doing the Man Show. She's in love with me. Went over there, pitched my brains out to her. She said thanks, but no thanks. Went on to make another sports comedy called The Comeback, with the comebacks with David Koechner and Carl Weathers. The movie's a piece of crap. If you don't believe me, it's sitting at 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. I did make sure and watch that film when it came out.
I bet.
It's really a horrible piece of junk, and that's the sports comedy they chose to make over the best sports comedy of the year with the guy who she looked at as her son.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
So that's basically where we're at. That's what this town is, and I can't deal with it.
But instead of whine about it and complain about it, you're just doing your own thing, and you're utilizing the strong fan base you've got. I think it's a great thing, and it really speaks to your resilience out there, and the fact that you're just going to do it your way. I think that's why the podcast is so successful. You don't have somebody sitting over your shoulder saying, "No, you got to do it this way." You're just being Adam.
I had to go meet with Adam Sandler's people, and they have a guy over there named Jack who sat down and explained to me that he was personally responsible for the two highest-grossing sports comedies of all time. One was The Waterboy, and the other was the remake of The Longest Yard. It's like, those movies stink, you idiot. And you're bragging about it? Oh, he was also bragging about Paul Blart, by the way. But it's like, who the hell wants to kiss the ring of these asswipes? Just do your own thing. That was my whole thing. I couldn't take the attitude. I couldn't take sitting across people that I was funnier than, where they were explaining to me what funny was.
Right. No, I can imagine. I can't completely imagine because I'm not as funny as you, but it sounds like a horrific experience.
Yeah.
Again, it's rode hard, and you can be a part of it. You can be an investor and get your name in there and even be in the movie. If you want to be part of Adam Carolla's next project. Adam, thanks so much for joining us. Where can I get Mangria in Washington, by the way? I haven't found it on the store shelves.
Ooh, you can go to CarollaDrinks.com, and there's a locator. We're trying to get it out there. You can get it online for now, but we're definitely going to get it
all right.
into
because we're having a very hot, humid summer here. I need some Mangria to get through the day.
Adam
Carolla, thanks so much for joining us today on Mornings on the Wall.